Hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss my show. Whether it's Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, here's our first guest. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Today's a treat for me because I have a friend here. And not only just a friend, it's somebody that I really admire in my personal life. He's always the smartest man in the room, yet he never has the need to make you feel like you need to know that. His level of humility is so inspiring to me because he's become such a successful man. But he's a coach to so many famous people, celebrities, actors, entertainers, behind the scenes, on their brain, on their life. He's been somebody who's helped me with my own life. Every time I see him, I just want to give him a hug, tell him how much I love him. He's just a tremendous human being. And having said all of that, he's also a brilliant man. And he's one of a kind. And we're going to dial right into one of his great strengths today, which is your brain and how it functions and how you can get it functioning better. I can't think of a topic I'm more excited about covering with the best in the world. So Jim Quick, welcome back for the second time to the show, brother. It's been too long.
Yeah, and Mylett, thank you so much for having me on your show, and thank you everyone who's tuning in to this brainy conversation.
Well, here's his book, everybody. It's the expanded version of Limitless, and I have to tell you, if you look at me holding it up, most of you listen to this on audio, but there's just pages marked after marked after marked for my own usage because it's so... Jim's been on before, and we talked a little bit about this, but this time I got to read the entire book in this expanded version today. You guys, it's really a textbook on your brain and how to get it to optimize to your full potential. And we're going to talk about that on today's show. So let's start with this. I just took a quiz right before I came online here that's in the book about the different brain types. It turns out I'm a cheetah. What are you, by the way? And then explain to them what the heck this means. Because I think even understanding your own brain and what type you are gives you a lot of insight on how to make it optimal.
So I am an elephant. It's my primary. My secondary is an owl. And we'll talk about... For people just tuning in, they're wondering, like, what does that even mean?
Right.
So we created, as part of the new expanded edition, creating momentum in your life. I believe one of the most important parts to having fulfillment, greater levels of success, is knowing yourself. I think a big part of our own success and fulfillment is having the curiosity to know ourselves. And then the other part is having the courage to be ourself, which is a totally different game. So I created this assessment for people who want to know themselves a little bit better and know the people around them. I pulled from, it's a cognitive type assessment, which only takes about 4 minutes to go through. And I pulled inspiration from things like personality types like Myers-Briggs. Science and psychology is like left brain, right brain dominance theory, visual, auditory, kinesthetic processing. We pulled from multiple intelligence theory, Howard Gardner's work out of Harvard University, introvert, extrovert, and so on. And I realized that after 32 years as being a full-time brain coach, that not everything works for everybody. Just like we're all bio-individual and not everybody reacts to every food the same way. And just like there's personalized medicine based on an assessment, like your DNA, or personalized nutrition based on a nutrient profile, or maybe your microbiome test, we created this simple test for personalized learning and performance based on our dominant brain type. And so there are 4 brain types we found out that are 4 buckets. And once you know yourself, you can really lean into your strengths and leverage them, not only for reading faster, improving your memory, having better focus, but also for negotiating, for sales, for parenting. And once you understand other people's brain types, it really informs your next moves, if you will, to have greater levels of learning and life. And so
what's the difference between a cheetah and an elephant, for example, those two types?
Yeah, let's go through all 4. They're 4 animals. I'm like the king of acronyms, so
I love it.
Shortcuts. Code. Remember your brain code, CODE. The C stands for cheetahs, and cheetahs, their primary trait is action. Like, you are a man of action. So cheetahs think and act at lightning speed. They thrive in fast-paced environments. They adapt, making very quick decisions. They trust their instincts. They have extremely strong intuition, and they're able to adapt in rapidly changing environments. They're very, very swift. The O in code stands for the owl, and the owl, their dominant trait, where cheetahs go for action, owls go for logic. Okay, so they're very analytical, methodical, detail-oriented. And by the way, we are not just one. We are a composite of all these animals, but usually there's one that's a primary, that's more dominant. So the
So
owl
true.
are your deep thinkers. They analyze information, they consider every angle before making a decision. They love facts and they love figures, they love data. The D and code are your dolphins, and these are interesting people. Their primary trait is creativity. They are creative visionaries. They see the bigger picture. Maybe other people can't yet grasp this vision. They're guided a lot by their innovation, by their pioneers in their field. Think about the Walt Disneys, the J.K. Rowlings in the world. And finally, the E in code are your elephants, and their primary trait is empathy and collaboration. So elephants are at the heart of any team, any friend group. They have a keen sense of empathy, which allows them to understand and collaborate with a diverse group of individuals. They often serve as the glue that holds teams together. They want people to feel seen. They want people to feel heard. And it's interesting when we had this is a model, and remember, all models are. We know that the map is not the territory, that the menu is not the meal, right? But it gives you distinctions and a lens to look at your performance and the decisions you make, also the people around you. And it kind of takes a judgment out of it. Even with something like speed reading, which we've talked about in a previous episode with you about memory improvement, I realized that it's not how smart somebody is. It's not how smart you are. It's how are you smart. It's not how
Gosh.
smart your kids are. It's actually how are they smart.